Good afternoon. Thank you. Can we get this one in advance? Thank you. So I run a valuation group, and as Joe pointed out, you should know the biases of the people that are talking to you. So I stand before you as a recovering engineer who then went to business school and did a whole lot of consulting. And I'm here to tell you that our focus on education, on credentials, on being the smartest person in the room is holding us back. It's the armor we wear to protect ourselves, and it's something that we're using to set ourselves apart from our clients. With all this specialized knowledge, we've got a choice to make. Do we use that information as a hammer and use it to beat our clients up, or do we use it as a lever and help move them toward action? We need to be open to a new way of doing business and relating to our clients. The ground is shifting beneath our feet. The gray wave is here. 10,000 retirements a day. That stat still amazes me. I learned it in my SEPA training. I use it often in presentations, and every time I use it, I have to look it up to make sure it's right. 10,000 a day. And I live in Maine, which is the oldest state in the union. And we don't have a lot of publicly traded companies, so we've got a higher prevalence of privately owned businesses. It's hitting my profession. Partner retirements. Where's Frank out there somewhere? He retired at the end of June. Consolidations, mergers and acquisition activity, people wondering who's going to take over their practice. At the same time, labor is in short supply. It's on top of everyone's mind. I can't remember the last management interview I went to when somebody told me that labor wasn't keeping them up at night. So with the shortage of labor, what's happening? Automation's on the rise. Who here flew here and actually talked to a airline ticket agent rather than using the kiosk to check in? Any hands? Who here used a bank teller rather than an ATM? Who here has used kiosks at restaurants? And then again, as a guy running a valuation group, algorithms are here. Biz Equity is here. Biz Equity we're going to have up on our website very soon. All of this makes us more efficient, and it's all designed to address labor shortages. Entire professions are racing to move away from compliance and into value-add services. Why? Patterns demand it. It's part of the fourth industrial revolution, and it's underway. So what do I mean by that? 1765. The first industrial revolution, powered by the steam engine. The age of mechanization starts. I warned you as an engineer. It makes farming easier, it makes things less labor intensive, and it starts a movement allowing people to move off the farms and into city centers. As they move into those city centers, mass production takes hold. Mass production of textiles was first, and our way of living changes. 100 years later, 1870, the second industrial revolution, oil, gasoline, electricity, new forms of energy that are more reliable and allow us to work differently. Energy is much more plentiful and mass production begins. This is the era that gave rise to Henry Ford and the assembly line. Efficiency becomes the goal. Another 100 years. That brings us to 1969. Nuclear energy is now the new energy source. This also brings the age of electronics. With it, the third industrial revolution. Mass communication becomes easier, cheaper, and more reliable. We can do things faster than before. And with that, our pattern is held, but every 100 years we've had another industrial revolution. But with the speed of electronics, we get Moore's Law, which tells us that every 2 years, speed and capacity double. So old time frames are reduced. So here we are 50 years later, 2019, and we're at the fourth industrial revolution. Disruptive technologies, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, virtual reality. So what is going to be needed to compete in this new economy? So this was my aha moment. At home, I'm on an education foundation in the town that I grew up in and where my kids go to school. And one of the things we do in that education foundation is we sponsor teachers to go to this conference called Learning in the Brain. So here I am on a Monday night after having spent the whole day digging out of the weekend. And I hear a teacher who's talking about this conference she went to. And what she's telling me is that at the conference, they learned that they're teaching all the wrong things. That there are important skills that are needed to thrive in the 2020 workspace. And she's got this list up on the board. And I'm not thinking about kids in school, which probably isn't that nice because that's why I was supposed to be there. All I'm seeing is exit planning. It's the only thing I see when I look at this list. Connection, relationship, solving complex problems. This is how we thrive. Exit planning is future-proofing our business, and when we're working with owners on a successful transition, we're helping them future-proof theirs as well. When we get hired on a project, we're working with other advisors. We're trying to understand the end goal. We're providing a framework for our clients. We're developing predictable patterns of behavior and trying to make that information relatable and understandable. We're trying to reach them and relate to them as individuals, not just see them as business owners. We're trying to understand not only what makes them tick, but what it is they're trying to accomplish. And how do we help them meet those goals? Creativity, flexibility, keeping our clients in control. This is exit planning at its best. Our clients crave predictability and control. Patterns, not predictions. That provides a powerful way to relate. So one of the ways we do this, we talked about using information as a lever. This is a way that we've developed to take a whole lot of statistical information and boil it down. So this is from an actual case. These are commercial printers. So what we see here are a number of different databases. I don't know how to make the pointer work. There we go. We've got a number of different databases. We've got different metrics up here. We've got numbers of transactions. But the beauty of this is it isn't very hard for our clients to understand where the value of their company might fall. These green bars, these are the sweet spots from different databases. So if somebody comes in and they tell you that their company is worth $20 million, I've got a whole lot of evidence here on the screen that says that it's not. When people see this chart, they have a pretty good understanding of exactly where their company falls. So our stock in trade on that previous slide, is turning data into information. Information is no longer the currency. It's turning that information into action. That's how we're going to thrive in the next economy. So speaking of patterns, if Moore's law holds up and cycle times indeed are decreasing, the fifth industrial revolution is only 25 years away. One generation. What does that mean for us? This talk of multi-generational succession planning needs to stop because we need to be working with owners now. Each generation needs to be planning, and they should be starting now. We're seeing this more and more with our clients. So if you are here to check the box and collect some credits, I'm afraid you're in the wrong place. If you're here to realize that we have a lot in common with the clients that we work with, and that you want to learn how to use this information as a lever to work together, to work collaboratively, to dig deeper, create connections, then welcome. That is what we do here. Welcome to the Common Ground.